Late Night with the Devil is the newest film that is dividing audiences over a controversy. And what is that controversy, you may ask? The controversy is that the film uses AI generated illustrations. The director said they experimented with AI for 3 images, which were then edited further by their team and probably more artists to make them feel more realistic. David Dastmalchian then spoke of it with Kevin McCarthy, who is a fantastic interviewer, one of my favorites. So all credit to this clip goes to him. I'm going to play it right now for you guys.
Sure. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, and I remember, looking at them, and they had such an awesome. The only thing that makes me sad is that we had such an awesome graphics design team and all these artists that were working on making this film so perfect. So it makes me sad that that's a story
I
that's
know.
getting the attention. But I get it. I mean, I'm absolutely in a place right now where that is something that we've learned so much about in the last few years since we made this movie, and that I don't want near the creative process, but I totally stand by the brothers. I was there with them. It was a couple of years ago when they were this is brand new stuff, and like, oh, look, this cool thing generated an image, and now our artists are doing a thing with it. So I think they said it really well, and I stand by what they said, and I completely stand by this movie as a thoroughly original piece of work that so many man hours went into this incredible artistic craftsmanship of building this set, building this world. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good conversation to have, though. It's important conversation. We got to have it.
So basically, what he's saying in this clip is that this movie was made many years ago and it premiered at the film festivals last year. So a while back, a lot of people saw it. And this was all prior to the strikes that happened last year when all the AI negotiations and talks were happening. And he still thinks that it's an important conversation to be had about AI. And I also think it's an important conversation to be had. That's why we're having this conversation right now. In my opinion, AI really has no place in a film in the first place unless you use it like how the Spider-Verse animators and creators use it, because it's not generative AI that is harmful. Those artists just train it and use it as a tool to do minimal tasks that include line drawings for characters, character movements, and many other smaller things that make the animators' jobs faster and allow them to focus on the bigger picture and bigger ideas with their films. I think what sucks most about this situation is that they use AI on such a small indie original film that is actually really good. Like, I was able to actually go see it in a theater, and I think it's really good. And I think it sucks because, we should be supporting indie films, and it's just weird how they're just using AI on such a smaller movie. We've had these instances on bigger films, such as ones from Disney and other studios, but to have it being used on smaller films was really surprising to me. They didn't use it as a tool to make their jobs easier. They use AI to make images that are actually pretty bad. Hiring a graphic designer to make images would have been the better and easier option, which would have also allowed for more jobs in the film industry, which are pretty lacking at the moment. My stance here is that what's the point of using AI when there are clearly people out there that can do the job better, and so the images in film can have more meaning to the artists that work on them? Because people, I've seen people on Twitter discuss working on a film, like they work on one image and it's like it's like their biggest achievement in their life. So why not just get a graphic designer to make these 3 simple images and make them look so much better? If we let AI take over the films and television that we watch, we will end up watching Netflix quality movies for the rest of our lives with almost no originality, and no one wants that because Netflix movie sucks. Like Netflix releases how many movies a year? Like 30 original movies a year, and literally 95% of those movies suck and feel AI generated. So we don't want that. We don't want AI in our films. We don't want AI generated stuff in our films. But I do want to talk about the issue of people boycotting the movie over this issue. I don't personally believe in boycotting the movie, and as I did say, I saw the movie in theaters, because even if there is harmful AI in this movie that I disagree with, there are also real people that worked on this smaller indie movie, and people cry for more original films. But lots of people don't go see them. I go and support original films because I think that we should be getting more original films in our day, and I think they deserve our support only for the right reasons. And I'm also giving money to the movie theaters, which I also care about supporting, because movie theaters, they don't get a lot of money. They mostly get money from concessions. They get only a small percentage from the movie ticket, so I like to go buy concessions almost every time I'm there. Support the theaters because some of them are actually dying. I do, though, think that we should be speaking loudly about the AI included in this film, and if you do see it, let them know that we aren't okay with this. Let them know on Twitter, let them know on TikTok, let them know on YouTube. Like, that we should let them know that even if the film was amazing, We can't let AI take over the creative process of making a movie what it is and making the creative process feel special. Since I did see the movie, I do want to give a small review though. A quick plot synopsis is that in 1977, a live television broadcast goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. I went in mostly blind on this one, except knowing about the AI controversy and the late night talk show elements. I'm a big fan of tuning into late night talk shows when I can. I'm not up that late to be watching that, so I basically watch the interviews the morning after. Some of my favorites to watch are like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, and Seth Meyers. I love watching the interviews with like movie stars, and just I think the feel and fun of the shows really makes it why I like turning in. I think it's just fun to watch them. I do think that this is easily the best horror movie of the year, which again isn't difficult to do this early in the year. I mean, it's easily the best because we've only had, a couple like Night Swim. Immaculate was okay, nothing great though, except for the last 30 minutes. But yeah, I think this one is easily the best so far, but we still got a lot to go because the year just started. The 70s aesthetic that was nailed perfectly, and what they're going for with the production design of the studio looked flawless again, except for the AI images in the background. That kind of leaves a sore spot in your stomach just looking at that. But the aesthetic of the 70s looked really good. There's also some very cool uses of prosthetics in this during some of the horror scenes and some of the kill moments that could make me and some feel kind of queasy, even if it does look kind of fake because it is trying to match that 70s feel. But still, I think it looked pretty cool. It did a good job making me feel anxious for what was to come next because there were certain scenes where something would happen and just make me jump because it happened so suddenly. Ingrid Torelli plays the child Lily, who's possessed, and she wasn't really in much before this that I looked at, and sometimes it's hard to pull off some of those demonic scenes in kind of like horror exorcist movies, but I thought she did a really great job, especially when she had to put on some emotionless or confused expressions. I was also happy to finally see David Dastmalchian show up in a leading role because he is almost entirely playing as a supporting characters in films like Oppenheimer, Dune, Blade Runner 2049, and The Suicide Squad. He nails every single one of his smaller roles, and I'm delighted to say that he knocks this leading role out of the park. I love how he portrays such large emotions, and his eyes even evoke so much emotion, and he nailed the role as a late night talk show host so much. I want now just to see him as a late night talk show host to interview other actors because it was cool to see him have that leading role, and I thought he did a great job, and I think now he deserves even more leading roles after this. So overall, it sucks that Late Night with the Devil used AI generated images, and that controversy will stick with the film forever unless they change and re-edit it when it comes out on a streaming service. But I really like the film and still do recommend checking it out for the right reasons, of course, supporting smaller films, supporting the artists that did work on this, and supporting the actors. So I'll give it a strong 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this controversy in AI use in the film. If you did see it, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.